we have to change the narrative of our policing system by being transparent, open, and accountable to the members of the public that we are being paid to serve, with a view to assuring members of the public of our commitment in tackling crimes and criminality and other antisocial vices in Borno State, particularly in Maiduguri metropolis. I wish also to commend the state government under the pragmatic leadership of His Excellency, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, for the tremendous logistic support that he has been rendering to the police and other security agencies as part of the overall vision of Borno restoration. Where there was conflict, the post-insurgency era, there will be some ashes of phenomenal rise in unknown crimes and youth restiveness. We are quite aware of that one, that the relative peace that has been restored in Borno State, especially in Maiduguri, where you have large concentration of population, it is definitely correct to say that there will be some upsurge in crimes and criminality. So the police have to think, not just think outside the box, we just have to get out of the box and put in some measures, proactive measures. And one of these proactive measures we have put in place is to identify areas we call hotspots, where these criminal elements hibernate before they carried out their dastardly acts. Our intelligence community has availed us with information of such places, either uncompleted building or some unlittered neighborhood. Is to use our special constabulary. The special constabulary that were trained and appointed by the police is in tandem with Section 23 of the Police Act. It's a voluntary work, and the people that have visible means of livelihood are to be engaged as a police constabulary. Most of these police constabulary, they run their businesses. These are the people we use as purveyor of information. Now our response time to distress is very timely and prompt. And the DPOs, with this logistic backup of fueling their vehicle, they go into raiding of all suspected hotspots. And the dividend and the success of that was this huge number of suspects we are able to arrest. And out of these 339, after screening, 250 were convicted. Now, the Borno State Penal Code 2023 and other related matters. The difference, we have all these offenses in the Penal Code. But for those of us that know, the Penal Code was a colonial law that was passed by the British. And some states have gone ahead to modify and to update that law to be in tandem with modern challenges. So the main attributes of that law is where you have an offense of, say, forgery, and when you charge to court, the conviction is either 2 days or pay 20 naira. In those days, they use pound and shilling. So even when they change it to naira, nobody is thinking of the exchange rate. So what this law did to us is to make the penalty stiffer in the sense that it should be a deterrence at the same time to be restorative, so that it will discourage people from engaging in such act, knowing that there is consequences. For every action, there is reaction. Out of this number that we are convicted, I think almost all were convicted to a period of prison term of not less than 2 years. The prison, with the last reformation, it is now called Correctional Center. It is our belief that they are cooling their feet there to be reformed, because it's a correctional center, and come back as good citizens. Now with this new penal code, domesticated by Borno State Command, with a domestication of AGJA and VAP, violence against persons, you can now see that we are moving ahead. Now we are coming from post-insurgency, when virtually everybody was traumatized. People were rendered homeless, orphan, widowers. So that trauma has now made some youth to look hopeless and engage in use of illicit substances and allied offenses and criminality. But we thank God, the vision and pragmatic approach of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, towards ensuring that peace is restored permanently. And with this law, I think we are on top of the game. The incident at filling station. We had two incidences where a filling station at night, they broke into the place, vandalized the office of the manager, though nothing was removed or stolen. In one of the incidents, they caused grievous hurt to one of the security guards, and the one, unfortunately, they killed the security guard. Now, when we do the assessment, we realize that most of these filling stations employ the services of aged, not only aged, septuagenarian as their watchmen. So we are now in a parley with them, trying to give them security tips, and we agreed on operation hour when they should close. We know we have curfew from 10 o'clock, but most of these filling stations, especially at the outskirts, we want to now agree on their operation hours, and also to give them advice that let them use the services of private security organization instead of employing aged septuagenarian individual to be watching over their filling station. They are not only making them easy target to crime, they are also jeopardizing the general security of the state. In the first place, the proactive measure should have been to stop it from happening. But it has happened, and we have made arrests, and we have now changed our pattern of patrol.